Hello and welcome to the World of Zwift. I'm OJ Borge. At the moment, I'm in the midst of the Edinburgh to Cardiff Doddy 500 Cup. And when I say 500, I mean 500 miles, 802 kilometres, which I didn't realise. I thought it was kilometres when I first said yes to this. It's a mass participation ride, raising money to help MND sufferers to find a cure and raise their quality of life. While I warm up in these tights, let's see what's on this week's show.
We have all the action and the reaction to the UCI Cycling Esports World Championships, which was a doozy. Rahsaan Bahati and Matthew Stephens, well, they talk trainers in part dos of the ultimate indoor ride. Shayne Gaffney talks us through the art of tapering ahead of the final zFondo, while Rebecca Charlton, well, she takes on the 52-kilometre Bambino with a baby on board. We hear from Zwifter Joel Mcallister to see why he's ridden a whopping, wait for it, 36,500 kilometres in a year. It is a jam-packed show that in my eyes deserves a digital pat on the back, and by that I mean a like, and if you don't mind, why not subscribe? It's nearly time for double XP again, as registration for the Tour of Watopia is now open. The tour starts on March the 9th. Sign up to ride and run new routes, unlock fresh kit, and did I already mention double XP? I did? Well. Do you think you can race against one of history's greatest time trialers?
Hey guys, join me on Zwift for Chasing Cancellara, 10 to the 13th of March.
You heard the man, now see how close you can get to his time, or maybe, just maybe, beat it. There are 3 non-competitive group rides and 2 flat-out stages. For more details, check out the link to the Chasing Cancellara page in the links below. There's a host of other activities to look out for on Zwift in the coming weeks, not least the Mt.Fuji Dojo workout series, the return of the Super League Triathlon and the Zwift Run series. Keep your eyes on the Zwift Companion app for how you can get involved with all of those. As I'm sure you're all aware, the 2022 UCI Cycling Esports World Championships took place on Saturday, February the 26th. So let's see what went down on the roads and skyways of New York.
Hello and welcome to the women's elite race of the UCI 2022 Cycling Esports World Championships, taking place here in virtual New York City, essentially taking a big bite out of the Big Apple. 2.5 laps of the NYC Knickerbocker course, featuring, as you can see, very undulating terrain. Just look at that sawtooth profile.
All back together with 9.9 kilometres.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Look who's gone off the front. Catherine Curry again. She is like, well, she's an absolute monster. Straight off the front, only about 5 minutes rest. Well, the American team are providing us with some absolutely riveting, thrilling entertainment here at the 2022 UCI Cycling Esports World Championships.
And it looks like Catherine Curry, dare I say it, that gap is starting to come down, Matt.
It certainly is. Well, brave riding by Catherine Curry. I think she's going to be absorbed very, very quickly. The defending champion moves to the front on the first key part of this climb. It's only a short, steep section, but it's enough to make a bit of a difference. And Ashleigh Moolman-Pasio, that was a brutal surge by the South African wearing number 1, 10 watts a kilo. And with that move, she's already opened up a gap. She's doing exactly what she did last time up the road. Kicks up again here. Gets very steep, 12, 13% before flattening out. It's a complex, difficult climb, but the defending champion, Ashleigh Moolman-Pasio of South Africa, is now clear with a gap of 2 seconds. Ashleigh Moolman-Pasio just drops a power up on the steeper section. Look at that 17%. That's where it makes most of a difference. She's opened up a little bit of a lead, but Hansen is fighting here as well to get back in contact.
We've got 3 riders who are all almost shoulder to shoulder. Cecilia Hansen just coming alongside Ashleigh Moolman-Pasio, but waiting to pounce. Loos Aardegeest in the orange jersey for the Netherlands, Matt. 12% here with 150 metres to go.
Aardegeest goes on the front there, just deploying the featherweight pair of 100 metres to go now. Zoe Langham also there too, but it's going to be Loos Aardegeest, I think, is going to take this one. She surges clear. What a brutal turn of pace by the rider from the Netherlands. And with it, she takes the title. Loos Aardegeest is the 2022 UCI Cycling Esports World Champion, destroying the field with a surge in the last 50 metres. She will be wearing the rainbow bands. What an absolutely remarkable performance by the woman from the Netherlands. And look at the delight, the exhaustion writ large upon her face. Emotional scenes, but what a win. Lois, first and foremost, congratulations, you are the world champion.
Yeah, it sounds a bit unreal. I dreamed about this race 3 nights ago, and I dreamed I got beaten on the line, so it's better than a dream coming true.
I mean, it was a very, very interesting race, quite a tactical one. Did you, but you clearly played it very, very cool. You didn't get involved in any of the attacks, and your use of the power-up just at the right point on the steepest part towards the end. You must be really, really happy with the way that you tactically rode as well as physically.
Yeah, I knew I had to save the feather for the last part if I wanted to win the sprint. And I saw Mt. Fuji using it on the part before. And yeah, I knew my chances were getting better there. It was hard to hang on that part, but I just thought I have to save the feather for the last part.
Well, Lois, enjoy your moment. Enjoy the next 12 months in the Rainbow Bands, and you can relax now. But well done again.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, the riders are off. A wonderful women's race, but this men's race should be nothing short of spectacular as well. But some attacks now. Segerbrook has gone clear with Martin Martins and trying to bridge across the gap as well for Norway, Henrik Fjellheim.
The nations really need to start to get themselves organised, get riders up there represented and start to begin that chase, because the gap, it continues to rise 14 seconds and it's holding. It
is. Well, one rider has been stuck on the front from the chase group. Number 7, look at Sam Hill. The Australian has been sat on the front for the last couple of kilometres and hasn't relinquished at all. He is clearly putting in a big, big effort. This is the first of these really steep sections here. It's only short, but an early deployment there from Keplinger of the featherweight power-up, reducing his weight by 10% for 15 seconds, and in the process opening up a gap, still 10 seconds and more to the group behind. Well, Keplinger still flying up this climb, 400 metres to go. Look at the face of the man from Austria, but this looks like it's going to be cool. Osborne is absolutely flying. He's used the aero power-up on this flatter section to catapult him past the Austrian. Osborne, the defending champion of Germany, is in the lead. Ben Hill not too far behind, but look who's coming up. Ben Hill, Jay Vine also there. This is the last steep section of the climb, 150 metres to go. Jason Osborne churns his way up at the top of this climb, just coming up. It's René Keplinger is closing, just coming through. This is Jay Vine. Jay Vine is coming through for Australia. Vine is there. Looks like Vine is going to take it on the line. Jay Vine is the world champion. Snatches it from Jason Osborne at the last. Jay Vine of Australia is the UCI Cycling Esports world champion. Jay, congratulations, you are the world champion. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, 2020, there was a bit of a mechanical halfway through the race, so to go through the whole event without any issues is, yeah, pretty special. And I mean, it's pretty cool to be the world champion or something, absolutely.
You've got to take your hat off to the rest of the team, because that breakaway late in the race looked 15, 16 seconds. It was really strong. They were working well. And you were the only team, really, who actually did anything at the front to mitigate the potential damage. So without your teammates, you might not be world champion today.
Absolutely. We had a couple of protected riders throughout the race. And, yeah, the guys who were told to go to the front did an amazing job. They really lit it up with about 8 Ks to go to that final climb, really put the effort in to bring that break back. And I mean, just like in the real world on the road, we just had to trust that our team would be able to get the job done, so that us others could put in the work at the end.
Well, Jay, it's been an absolute pleasure. Enjoy the Rainbow Bands, and thanks very much, mate. You take care.
Cheers. Thanks, Matt.
Now, a few weeks ago, Rahsaan Bahati and Matt Stephens, well, they picked their bikes for their ultimate indoor setup, and I was very jealous. 2 perfect looking bikes. And this second part of the series, well, they're going to show you how to take those bikes and their setups to the next level.
Rollers or trainer, smart trainer or dumb, wheel on or direct drive. You guessed it. There's a lot of options out there, but which one will I choose? You don't have to have the newest kit or the best kit to get on Zwift. There isn't a right or wrong answer, and the good news is no matter what bike you're riding, you can find a trainer set up to match, and often at different price points, from entry level through the top of the range.
With so many trainer options on the market, it can be a little bit daunting making the right choice. So let's break this down into some key considerations. First up, budget. How much have I got to spend?
Dumb trainers are the cheapest option. They don't connect to Zwift directly, but with the addition of an ANT Plus dongle and a simple speed sensor, you can be up and running for as little as £100 or $150.
Smart trainers, as suggested by the name, are intelligent and react to the rises and falls of the terrain in Zwift for a real-world feel. Put simply, if the road rises in game, your trainer will increase the resistance according to the gradient. These direct drive trainers require the rear wheel to be removed, thus connecting it to the trainer. They are far quieter and very stable and accurate at reading your power output, an important metric in training. Some even flex from side to side when you're riding out of the saddle, and some even give road vibration feedback too. As I spent the best part of 2 decades riding on a dumb trainer, plus I want my setup to be properly ultimate, and I ride a lot on Zwift, I'm opting for a top-of-the-range Tax Neo. This trainer offers power measurements up to 2,200 watts, although I'd need to metamorphosize into Chris Hoy overnight to reach those lofty power numbers. It also easily accommodates both caliper and disc brake fitted bikes in a variety of widths, and also accommodates my 20-year-old bike. Right, that's me set up on my trainer. Rahsaan, how you shaping up, mate?
There are a lot of good trainers out there. I mean, I think I've ridden them all. I even like riding rollers. Rollers for me give you the best way to recover, as I use them with zero resistance. It allows me to focus and use my motor skills, i.e. balancing, hand-eye coordination, and focus. These days, you can buy smart rollers, if rollers are your thing, giving you the benefits of both worlds and allowing you to make the most of Zwift. However, when I want the Gucci setup, I'm rolling with the Wahoo Kicker. Direct drive, great for racing on, quiet, and with a few adjustments, you can run SRAM or Shimano cassettes on there, depending on which flavor you prefer. Oh, and if you want to get rid of the wheels altogether and have the front end of your setup moving like it would on the road, then you can pair it with the Kicker Climb or Elite Riser. They read the gradient in Zwift and adjust the height of the handlebars to match, up for the climbs and down for the descents. But for me, I like to stay rock solid on the front end, so I'm keeping my wheel on the floor. Bike's ready, trainer's ready. Next up, tech.
Shayne Gaffney is back, so you can taper like a pro. So those muscles are ready for the zFondo endurance event. And hopefully after you've done that, you won't need as many bath salts and counselling as I will need after this. Take it away, Shayne.
The upcoming zFondo series is almost here, and hopefully some of you are in your 4th and final week of the Fondo training plan, feeling stronger than ever and ready to take on a longer ride. I have a few more secret ingredients for you to be on your best on Fondo Day. Starting with tapering. This is simply allowing your body to recover from all the testing training sessions you've been doing and be ready for the big day. How do you taper? Tapering is simply reducing volume, also known as time on the bike, while maintaining frequency and intensity. The combination of those 3 things allow your body to recover and absorb all the training you've been doing in the last 4 weeks and be in tip-top shape, ready to tackle the zFondo. Next up, recovery. Recovery from hard training isn't just physical. It takes mental energy to push your body to the limit. So, when you're recovering, be sure to prioritize sleep, nutrition, and also mental health. So, race day is here. My best tip, relax. You've done the hard work, prepared your body to perform, and guess what? All you have to do is perform. Try to get to the start line 5 to 10 minutes early so you get a spot close to the front, and really important, eat a meal 2 to 3 hours before, something ideally rich in carbohydrate. Lastly, my absolute #1 tip is pace yourself. This isn't a 60-minute workout like we've been doing the past 4 weeks. This is gonna take you hours to complete potentially. So really work on keeping yourself around a 3 to 5 out of 10 or your all-day pace. As long as you can show up to the start line with grit and determination, you'll get to that finish line. Remember, the best part of a Fondo is riding with friends. So have fun and ride on.
Welcome to the beautiful Llyn Tegid, or Lake Bala, if you'll ignore my terrible Welsh, and it's full of lakey stuff. Now, it's time to find out how Rebecca Charlton, who is a total Wonder Woman, she's 6 months pregnant and she has been training on Zwift for the Zwifter Bambino, and it's now time to find out whether all the sweat, tears and acid relief hooks have paid off. Let's see how she gets on, and here's my guys back on the road.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my training diary as I prepare for the 52-kilometre Zwift Bambino Fondo. And today on the menu is the long tempo ride that's broken into 10 sets of 3 minutes on, 1 minute off. Why do the minutes of rest seem so short? Today's been quite a struggle. This is getting bigger and it's all becoming more challenging, but for me at the moment, having those rest intervals so important, just to make sure I'm not getting in any discomfort too much or letting my heat and heart rate get out of control, which is midwife's orders. Back on the turbo this morning for my first back-to-back session. I did intervals yesterday. I feel like my legs are a little bit tired, but I'm feeling strong and feeling motivated still, which is the main thing. Really long, challenging session for me today. I always said I'd be honest, and today was a struggle. But that said, you know, got through it. Look at the positives. It's given me confidence that these sessions are prepping me well to be on the turbo for longer. Another long ride today. Feeling hot, feeling sweaty, feeling really good. Really good that I got another long one done. So the fact that I'm really ramping it up has been great motivation. Well, the big day is finally here. I'm taking on the 53-kilometre Bambino Fondo, and I'm actually quite nervous. I'm now around 7 months pregnant. The bump's popped out. Near I'm out of breath just talking. But I've done my training, I'm prepped, and I'm excited to go. So, just coming out the pen now, wish me luck. Something I've had to think about today a little bit more is nutrition. In pregnancy, I've learned that little and often is the key, and you can't let yourself get too depleted or eat too much, because then the bump really gets in the way even more. I think the reason that I really wanted to do this challenge on Zwift in particular is because when you're pregnant, you don't want to lose touch of how your body feels. So the fact that you can jump on and actually be in the comfort of your home, I've loved that element of this challenge. So I was in a bit of a false sense of security. I managed to lose my group, which was a shame because it was really nice. It's got some ahead and some behind. I thought this was going to take me way over 2 hours, but I can actually see myself finishing now. So far so good. Haven't even needed the toilet break. I'm having to resist the urge for a massive sprint because I'm on doctor's orders not to. Can't believe that banner's in sight. Bump power. I am so chuffed to get around that under 2 hours. I think it's really important to say that I did this after checking with a GP and a midwife, so that I didn't do anything that was going to harm the pregnancy or go too hard. And the advice was to be able to chat all the way through, which I've done. So I'm even happier to have got round. Hopefully, I've proven that anyone can take on a training plan and complete it on the day, even if you are nervous, not going to make it round. Hopefully I've just proven that's possible.
I'm here somewhere in Wales riding 500 miles, yes, 500 miles in 50 hours to raise money for a great cause. Impressed? Well, Zwifter Joel Mcallister rode 36,500 kilometres in 365 days to raise money for a cause that is close to his heart.
So my first memory, like real memory, was commuting to school. So I used to ride about 2 miles to school and back every day, and that's kind of how I first kind of started to ride bikes. I studied architecture at London Met. As a couple of years gone by, I realised I didn't like it, and I used my bike to kind of escape a bit. I was hating university more and more. I remember some days I just wouldn't leave the house. I just would sit in, pretend I went to uni, never went, and actually I left and didn't tell anyone for about 3 months. Kind of came to a climax when I was really struggling. Should have contacted Calm, who's a charity I'm raising money for now, but I ended up just having to quitting everything, moving back to Norfolk and resetting. When I moved back home from London, I was at my lowest point in my life. I went to the doctors to say I'm struggling with my mental health. Their advice was to me, just exercise. They said, you're obviously very routine with your exercise and you're doing a lot at the moment, just continue doing it. But I just had a year of just kind of figuring out who I was, you know, working out who, you know, what I wanted to be really. Around that time I started cycling then a lot because I had time on my hands, because I didn't work full time. So I just rode my bike everywhere really. We live in such a busy world now where you're always contactable. You've got a phone which goes off all the time. Whereas when you're on your bike, you don't have any of that. You have just you, the road, and how you feel at the time. So it was about 5 years since my real low time, and I realised that was a point where I could start to open up about it. And that's the main problem with men and mental health, is that it takes so long to accept it. And it took me 5 years, and it's always something I've kind of looked back at and thought, why? Like, why didn't I open up? Why haven't I spoken to people about it? And I really, you know, I struggled in silence. And I think to build that struggle day to day I always felt like I really need to give back for it. And I felt like a challenge which I wanted to do was a back-to-back, day-to-day one, where it's more about the routine and it really emphasises the challenges people go with their own mental health. You know, the challenge I've set up for was cycling 100k every day for a year. And I felt like it was a really good example of how people struggle daily with their own mental health. So I mixed my riding in and outdoors because of weather, you know, time constraints, etc. So I rode quite a lot on Zwift. When I went back to the office, my first commute, I decided to overtake a tractor, which in Norfolk we've got a lot of tractors on the road, and my chain snapped and I hit the ground pretty hard. I was really badly concussed. Went to A&E, couldn't look at any light, couldn't really talk. I was in a really bad place and it took me a long time to recover from that. And at that time it was really important, because I was doing the cycling challenge, to keep riding. And what I did was I set up Zwift. I wasn't allowed to look at screens, and so I turned Zwift on like a workout. So I put it on my phone at the time, set out a workout on erg mode, and then I turned it away and I just rode for that time. This was under the doctor's instructions. I was allowed to keep riding because I checked with them first. And I did an hour and a half, and then erg mode went off, and then I stopped that, reset, slept, recovered a bit longer, and did that again later in the day, so my 100k was covered. I found Zwift really good because you've always got group rides running. So I found that I could just jump into like the 3-hour group rides. So they normally run 100k, and that was great. Because it's just when the weather's rubbish, or there's ice on the roads, or it's just raining or wind, I wouldn't want to ride too much outside because I found it exhausting. And Zwift's got rides happening all the time in every different country. And it's great because I remember riding one morning before work, and a friend of mine who lives in New Zealand was on. But I was like, do you know what? I haven't seen him for a long time. I just rode with him for about 15 minutes before we got off, but it really made my day and it made his. When I completed Cycling Against Living Miserably, and there was just groups and groups of people, and I thought, wow, this is all for me. And it shows how much people have supported this challenge. I rode into a brewery with all my friends and family outside, and it was so nice to feel like this was it. And it was so rewarding. And I just keep seeing the total going up of what I've raised for charity, and it's just phenomenal how people have been behind this. It's quite overwhelming how supportive people have been on this challenge, and to finish was just phenomenal.
that is it as the sun goes down on the second day of this epic challenge, this journey from Edinburgh down to Cardiff. The second day. That is it for us. If you want to see what happens on this mammoth challenge, that'll be the next episode of the World of Zwift. Until then, wish me luck and ride on. Wait for me, boys! Wait for me!